Hello and welcome to my February setup video. The 1st of February is considered the start of spring in Gaelic traditions. This honors the planning and preparation to begin sowing the seeds of the new year. This is often celebrated with spring cleaning, poppy seed muffins, and saging all the boys out of your life. So let's sow some seeds in preparation to our growing season by planning our February together. Alright, so I start off my bullet journal by having a general sketch and idea about how I want my spreads to be laid out. The foundation work is the beginning, where I draw out lines according to what spreads I'm going to have, and these are pretty consistent month to month, so there's really not much guesswork when it comes to the foundation of these pages. The right page is going to be my budget, and on the left is going to be my monthly spread. I like having these both side by side. I think they work really well, and those are usually my main focuses for the month. So my monthly spread on the left there is split into two sections. The calendar is on the left-hand side, and my goals and financial tracking is on the right. My calendar is super simple. I just go down the side of the page and list each of the dates of the month. It's a leap year this year, so 29 days in February, and right next to each of the dates, I'll go ahead and add the days of the week, so that way I can have an overview of that. So I'm adding headers to my goals and financial tracking on the right side of my monthly spread here. You can probably notice I got rid of the habit tracker that I had last month because about the middle of the month I stopped habit tracking, and so I replaced that with something that I just have to check in on once a month, which is my 3 credit scores. I hope to hopefully buy a house one day, so I need to start focusing on that. I also went through and transferred over my paydays, which I highlighted in the yellow marker there, to my budget spread. And I'll go ahead and separate out my budget spread into income on the left, responsibilities in the middle, and savings on the right. This is how I look at my budget. I break down a percentage of my income, and I pay my recurring bills first, then I pay into my savings or my debt, and then the percentage left over for extras goes first into my responsibilities, whether that's grocery shopping or date night or whatever it might be, and then the rest is extra spending money so I can treat myself. To find out what goals I want to have this month, I'll look back on my resolutions page as well as my future log, and I'll look at what goals I have planned for quarter 1 and add the steps needed that month to achieve those goals. And then my future log I use to migrate any big goals or reminders from the previous month, as well as important dates like holidays and birthdays. So some goals I have this month is to celebrate Imbolc, which is February 1st or February 2nd. And if you're watching this today, then hi, what's up? Let's celebrate. Other goals I have for the month is sewing. I want to learn how to sew and tailor clothes as well as do some embroidery. So I'm going to take a sewing class online this month. And I'm also going to collect my W-2 and tax paperwork. I have some 1099s from some of the previous jobs I worked last year, and I have to contact my employers to make sure they have all my valid information, and hopefully they can send those documents to me sooner so I can get my tax refund, because who doesn't love a little bit of extra money? And this is probably the most satisfying part, is going through and erasing all my pencil marks. I love looking at the page after I do this. It's nice and clean. And now I'll go look at what my future log had and transfer over important dates. So some things I wanted to keep on my calendar for this year, or at least the past 2 months, is the moon cycles and also holidays like Valentine's Day. I also have a credit dispute I'm currently going through, and so when the companies need to reply to me, I'll go ahead and put that in. And then I'll continue to fill it out throughout the rest of the month, including what date night ideas I have. So finally, it's time to decorate my theme and monthly pages. As you know, I decided to go with daffodils and fireplaces or hearths for this month. I know traditionally you think of February and think Valentine's Day, pink, and hearts, but I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. I hardly ever use yellows and oranges in my spreads, so I thought it could be something fun and creative for me to do this month. So I start off with some daffodils. Daffodils are representative or symbols of rebirth and new beginnings, which are pretty much synonymous with spring. They're also known as Lent lilies in Catholic religions, and many superstitions surround these flowers, including luck and prosperity for the next year. That's why you should always draw multiples or have multiples, because a single daffodil can often bring misfortune. These flowers are perennials, meaning they bloom year after year, just like you sweet little baby. Other flowers that are synonymous with this month are baby's breath and snowdrops, and any spring flowers that might be native to your region. I also wanted to include a drawing of a hearth or the floor of a fireplace. Fireplaces are often considered the warmest, comfiest place in the whole home, especially in traditional Celtic families. At dinners, it cackles with large flames while the family gather around it for dinner, and the embers burn toasty and warm. In the mornings, it is stoked with new energy and light, which burns throughout the day. Although it'll be snowing all of February where I live, it's nice to imagine the warmer days ahead of me instead of the frigid winter that's outside. Hearths are also a symbol for the Celtic deity Brigid, or if you're Catholic, Saint Bridget, who has a holiday in bulk on February 1st and 2nd every year. She is a fire goddess, and she is really to bring new life and spark creativity. So I decided to add this part of my video in because it is a drawing of a fireplace, which I got the perspective down perfectly. However, it did not look how I expected it to or how it looked to my mind. And with every bullet journal theme, you feel, well, at least I usually feel a lot of pressure to be perfect. And even if you do something that isn't necessarily what you had in mind, it's always really easy to fix. So for this, I added a piece of scrapbook paper that's pink and it has mermaids on it, so not necessarily with my theme, but I just glued that over top of my quote-unquote mistake and added some colorful washi tape. So whether you're an artistic drawing in your theme kind of bullet journal person, or you like scrapbooking, or whether you like to keep it minimal, the thing I really like about bullet journals is that they can change and evolve, and there's always a solution to any mistake that you might have, and to just relax, take it easy, and realize that nobody's perfect and nothing's perfect, and to not worry about it. So after my little oopsie doopsie there, I decided to continue to add washi tape. I picked out this bright yellow/green washi tape that's really thin. I got it from the dollar section at Target, and I'm just beveling the edges, adding it to my headers to give that nice pop of color. And now I'm going to erase my header, February there, my monthly title. And I'm going to be using these brush tip pens from the brand Yubi, which is a Target brand. Are you noticing a theme here that I am a big fan of Target merchandise? And I'm going to be using some traditional hand lettering calligraphy style to write that in cursive at the top. You probably saw that I had a small piece of tape stuck to my finger and I spelled February incorrectly, so I'm going to fix that by spelling it correctly with a dark pink pen through the middle of it. Moving on to my weekly and daily spreads here, I actually don't use a daily spread, I just use the Alistar method for tracking my weekly spreads. I added 6 days to the week. I was feeling nervous, alright, so I had a couple mistakes, but I go ahead and fix that. And I usually use the right-hand side of this page to have a running notes or a brain dump for whatever comes up during the rest of the month. And here is a final look at my creation for this month. I had a bunch of fun, and I hope you get inspired to do the same in your journal. Thank you. watching this video. I had a lot of fun whipping out the colored pencils and doing some artwork. Bullet journals are about changing and evolving, and even when you mess up, trying better next month. If you have any suggestions for next month's spread, add them to the comments section. Like always, my inspiration board is linked in the description below. Until next video, bye-bye.